start.
Okay. I'll tell you where we start because it's going to come from here. And you said the supply is the shorter one?
Now the supply is the big one,
Okay.
2 inch, which is this one. It'll always be on your right because remember we're talking about the water swirling in the tank. So this is where the water comes out, goes over to here, and comes in to feed the system. This is the return line for the. This is only used by the circulating pump as a return for putting water back in the tank once it circulates through the filter. This side supplies both the pressure tank and the circulating tank. And then the isolation between the two systems is right here.
Okay.
So close this valve, you isolate the systems. There's a T right here. This is the end. This is where the pipes come in. T's comes up here. This goes over to the circulating system. Inlet for it is right here. This side comes over to the pressure pump. So to clean this system, you turn this valve off. This system is still active, so you don't have to turn it off or anything. Then you close the return lines here at each tank.
This one?
Right. And that isolates this system from the tanks. Once you do these two valves, the return lines, and this valve here, then you can turn this system off and open it up and not have any.
Didn't you say something about if I let the supply on, it would drain?
No, if you leave the return on, then it will drain back through the return into here. So you have to turn the return off or close the return valves in order to isolate this system to open it up and clean it.
And to open it up and clean it, it's...
You push the release in here and start this ring turning. You make it's now just like that. It comes off, and then there's an O-ring, great big O-ring down inside here that seals this. You pop this off, and inside here's the paper filter. Pull it out, clean it, put it back. Put this back on. The O-ring you'll have to take off, clean real well. Make sure that's where, if you get a leak in the system, it'll be right here at this O-ring. So you have to make sure that the O-ring is not twisted or kinked or anything, and it has to be really clean. And then you need to go to a swimming pool supply house, and they will have the silicone grease for that O-ring. Grease that O-ring up real good, put it back in there. Push this thing down on here. This is your air release. It's got air in that system.
Is that good or bad?
It's bad. You don't want air in that system. It needs to be only water. Because air is bad for the pump. So water comes in through here. This is a basket. This comes off, and there's a little basket in there that catches leaves and stuff. You get squirted here in a minute because this squirts out that way. Comes in through the pump, in through the here, out through the filter here. This is the ozone injector here. You got your ozone generator here. Ozone comes out through this tube, runs up to the top, back down here, comes in. There's a little check valve here that doesn't really work real well, but it lets, it's to keep water from backing up into here, because you want to keep, the reason this runs up so high is it runs above the top of the tanks to keep from being able to siphon water back into here, because this is a little electrical arc in here. It generates the ozone. That's basically how it does that.
So it's never going to go out?
It may. I mean, you know, but it hasn't. So. But anyway, you want to keep this dry. That's the reason for this, all this rigmarole here, to keep it from siphoning water into here. Let's see if I can get this air out here. I may need to turn this on. This is, of course, the timer and on-off switch for this pump. Alright, now that sounds better. Yesterday it sounded a little off just because it had air in it. Bleed all the air out. You could hear it bubbling in the tank, so it's working. Okay.
Okay, so how often do I change that guy?
Whenever you open this up,
Yeah.
you probably ought to open that up too. This. The easy way to do that is to take this little 2x4 here. Make sure there's not a scorpion under it. And put it in this. And this gives you some leverage to
Right.
turn that.
Good idea.
There's no ring under here also. This it doesn't tend to leak as badly as this one does. It's under compression. So when you screw this cap down, it compresses the O-ring and seals it off. You'll see it when you take that out. And the little basket in there, just twist and pull out to clean.
Spicewood Plumbing said that one of the pumps is probably going to be giving out.
Did they say which one?
No.
I've had this one, I've had the motor built on this pump, or replaced, I guess it was. There's a swimming pool supply place in Marble Falls that did that for me. This pump comes off real easily. You just isolate the system, just like if you're going to clean it. You undo this union right here, undo this union right here, and this thing just kind of slides out. This whole pump assembly and everything just kind of separates from the base. Of course, it's plugged in here.
Right. Okay, I can see that.
Now this electrical box here is controlled by the timer. So anything you plug in here is going to come on and off with a timer. So that's why only the pump and the ozone generator are plugged into there. So you just leave this on, turn it up all the way, and then whenever the timer comes on, it'll turn this on and it'll turn the pump on.
Okay.
This-
Why is this valve over here on? I mean, why is there a valve here?
That's to drain this, because when you pull this off, you're still going to have water in it up to here. So you open this up and it drains the water out of it.
Ah, I get it. Good. So when these tanks fill up, you're going to be back.
Yeah, we'll have to come clean it out.
Fine. Okay, now how do I stop it?